You know, it's the beauty of my first review as a standalone video. I get to review Arima Death. Surprise! Chapter 83. How is it? This chapter is quite something else. This is the chapter that we have a lot of questions being answered, as well as getting new questions being asked. It's just that truly amazing how this chapter fits in. And this chapter is more than just Arima Final's words, which actually has a powerful effect, but it also has to do with the Washu family. This is the craziest thing about this chapter. One thing I have to say about this chapter is the art. The art in this chapter is very good. It's really captured the emotion of a character that has no emotion, and then when it displays that emotion is really convincing, and you just can't help but feel sorry for that person. In this case, it would be Arima. Hearing that is just it's awe-inspiring, and I just feel so sad for this character. And it actually explains a lot about Arima's background. It covers why he's so superhuman, and so to say, is actually the fact that he's half human. And him, Haru, and Furata are failed experiment. They're half human, and it's something like similar to the whole one-eyed ghoul situation. But in this case, they have a different perks, and those different perks is being enhanced human, as well as having a shorter life, which explains greatly about Arima's character, why he chosen Kanaki. And if you recall correctly, he picked it up as soon as he got a scratch mark, as to say he is the one chosen to do this. And it works. It really makes sense. You go all the way back to the last series, it really makes a lot of sense of why Arima chosen Kanaki to do this. And not only that, but the fact that he managed to kill himself, not having Kanaki to do the killing, is not just because the fact that he wants him to kill him, but the fact that he wants mission to be done. He wants something to be done that Kanaki only can do, because he is the level that could be surpassing Arima. And in this case, you could say he has surpassed Arima. Now, this chapter also goes to the Washu part, which I thought it was in the great tension rising with Maride and Yoshitoki. These two, we know they're friends. We have seen them bonded from the last series. We seen them, they were cool. And the worst part is Washu. This only Washu seems like the only Washu that we could say, he's a great guy. We like him. We could respect this guy, not his son, not his father, but that Washu. Turns out this chapter makes every Washu looks like a giant douchebags. And this chapter, the way how the tension was rising in the moment where Marida was trying to understand about the whole Washu being behind the ghouls, where in fact their job is to hunt ghouls and exterminate them. Instead, they're working behind them, and it just feels like the more you keep going, the more that you feel like tension is not only rising, but the fact that these two friends are breaking up, they're collapsing, the relationship, the bond is collapsing. And it's just so, in a way, it's kind of sad, because you know these guys really care about each other, you know they got bonding each other, but instead it has breaking down because of that one information, the thing he has from the notebook. That notebook explains a lot of things, as well as the RC cell detector from their own base. You could really imagine a tension music, that very tension, emotional music, raise higher and higher once the moment of truth comes to reveal. And the first time, it seems like a fluke, because the way how it plays out, that Yoshitoki just gets shot in the head and dies, and that's the end of the story. Which Marude just says like it's just one of those act of murder. Fine, I'll take his hand. And then unfortunately for him, it's revealed that he's a ghoul. The first person to show that he's a ghoul has to be the one that we find it to be the most friendly of the all Washus. Talk about one hell of a turn of event. And there were hints that these Washu were not that really normal or very behind the scene. And just with the fact with the V organization being behind them, and if you connect so many dots, you get the fact that the Elder is behind with the Arima experiment with the whole garden. And when you really think about it, Arima has been a tool, has been a weapon, and that's obviously the case from everybody. But what this chapter made it realize is how human and how understanding the position he's in. We could finally see the full picture. And when you think about it, when you go back to the Haru flashback with Arima just smile at her when she was a kid, it makes sense because that gives you the idea that he always understands this whole thing. The fact the matter is, he is in a hell world. He's being positioned as a person that cannot find happiness because he's just made as a weapon. And this chapter clears so many things. And not only that, but it makes the whole, that pivot moment where you have Masuri Wachu having a dinner with Uri. And you remember, they have a dinner, and Uri commented the food tastes weird. It has a weird flavor, whatever the case. And if that's the case, that means that they've been eating human. There are cannibalism. It seems that is the case. And if that's true, this is a well thought out manner of little tidbits of evidence. Much like the period members reveal, this is another big, great twist that Ishida has been planning for a while. And a lot of things are starting to connect to its world. It's starting to connect to why the Quinque. Why is that being made? How is that being invented by the Washu? You know, it's like it takes a ghoul to understand how to make a ghoul weapon. And it works. It really works. Now going back to Arima. Arima, again, it is sad to see this whole story. It makes sense why he wants Kanaki to be the one to defeat him. It makes sense why he rushed the process. Everything is really clears out. And that one image of himself when he was smiling, that was the time he was still smiling. It's not like he was always a very monstrous guy. He is human. He understands himself. He understands everything. It's just that when he's placed in a position that he does not like, he's not going to show any emotion because it's just the way how he was raised. But he understands everything. He understands the emotions. He hates what he was in, and he respects everything Kanaki has been put up for him. And now he really passed the torch to Kanaki. And it's still sad to see the fact that Kanaki sees him as a father, but yet he loses his father figure because of circumstances like this. And that last shot is just so powerful to make the entire character of Arima and the relationship between Kanaki and Arima. So after the end of this chapter, I'm incredibly hyped of what is to come for this series. This series has been building up itself. It has not been pulling a crazy ass pull out of nowhere. Everything seems so intact, so well prepared by Ishida Sui himself. And I just wanted to see more and more. And this whole twist and a turn of event is just so much compelling that you can see why this series is such a big hit. This is my first review, and I have to say, I will give this an unfreaking believable. Well, this is one way to start off the review segments. And now, of course, I'll be doing more reviews of this series. I will continue doing every week. Well, it's a foreseeable future until it ends or until it gets a break. Because every series needs a break, you know. But nevertheless, this chapter was such a fantastic way to start for me. And just a great plot twist time after time. And also, it gives you the idea that Maride might be the guy that is going to die if you're going by the timeline. It's where they made an announcement of a special class died to his grave or something, whatever the translation said. It could be him instead. That could have been a special reveal, a special shocking twist. Or it might be something else, because right now things are going way down south. What do you think about this chapter? Do you think this chapter really makes you hate Washu even more? Does this make you feel awfully sorry for Arima? Will Maride survive from this? Thank you so much for listening to my review. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe my channel and my world is yours to stay. Until next time, see ya. See ya.